So I just read Saga chapter 8 because I guess this is my life now. People keep telling me I should continue. So another issue. I've jumped into issue 8 and the cover's not terrible. The cover's not bad actually. It's Elena. I remembered her name this time, which is great. In her previous life as a soldier. I don't mind the covers of Saga if I'm honest. I like the plain background and the focus on the image. It's nice enough. And this issue didn't offend me as all the previous issues have. It was just a bit dumb, if I'm honest. It starts off and Elena's reading a book or just finishing a book called A Nighttime Smoke. The book sounds very real worldy, real romantic comedy book, and she's reading it while she's on watch duty. So this is a flashback. It doesn't tell you it's a flashback, but obviously you know it's a flashback because she's in her soldier's uniform and she's guarding Marco. I remembered his name as well. See, I'm getting better. It only took me 8 issues to remember their names. So it's a flashback to their first meeting. So he's in a cell and she's the guard. I'm going to ignore the voiceover from the daughter, Hazel. See, I know her name as well. I'm getting really good at this. Because I don't need it. You don't need it, really. The story speaks for itself. It's easy enough to follow. You don't need her constantly interrupting and telling you about things. So Marco's the prisoner and Elena is the guard. And it looks like he's trying to communicate with her, but she thinks he's trying to do a spell to maybe escape. So she just twats him one. See, this is really confusing because like her face looks quite nice there. Like the art is decent enough, but his face, it's not great. Yet back here, his face is fine. I think it's maybe the motion of the art is not it's not ideal for motion. When they're still, it's nice enough. I just don't think the artist can do motion very well yet. Maybe it gets better. So you get that. That's sort of like the epilogue or the prologue. And we jump back into the story where Marco's dad had knocked Elena out and was taking Hazel. By the looks of it, it looks like he was going to kidnap her, but it turns out he just knocked out Elena so that he could put the kid to sleep and make Elena some clothes. It's really lame. Like he proper acted like the bad guy, and it was just for no reason. It was just a fake out. Then we jump back to the Triclops with the manky, crusty balls, and Marco and his mum are fighting it. She wants to kill it, but Marco wants to use a binding spell. Again, this is not needed. It's just gross. But it's only those 2 pages because then he's knocked out. So Marco does a spell. He says he wants to use a magic ring to communicate with the Triclops or the giant, and the mum says that the ring belongs to, who did she say? It was on this page. What was her name? Gwendolyn's ring, because I think Marco was engaged to her, this Gwendolyn, so that must be the ring. But it allows him to communicate with people and also throw red lightning bolts. So we jump back to Elena and she's got her costume that the dad has made. She looks very trendy, very hip. I think these might be her wings folded down on her arms, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they fold down. I'm not too sure. It looks, yeah, so they're her wings. That's quite a nice design, actually. Although I'm really not liking the basic jeans and a vest top. I mean, it could be a little more sci-fi, a little more fantasy, but it's a nice look nonetheless. I'm complimenting Saga, by the way. I hope you're happy, everyone that told me to read on. So it turns out the dad's a seamstress, and he's not a seamstress. She calls him a seamstress, which was quite cute, quite funny. He's actually an armourer. So her suit is impenetrable by, what does she say? It's ray proof and gunpowder resistant, but it's not stab proof, so she can get stabbed. So she's got to be extra careful around knives and stuff. He doesn't want to tell anyone that he's sick because he doesn't want his last few weeks to be all pity, which is understandable. Decent character development. She stops being a complete and utter bitch. She actually starts showing some compassion towards another living creature, which is nice. Then we go back to the giant and we find out that they're not actually on a planet, they're on an egg and it's about to hatch. So they've got to get the full ghost, half girl. They've got to get her pretty soon, otherwise the planet will hatch and I guess they'll stuck or catapulted into space, not too sure. But yeah, we then get the prologue of a talent agency. So he's in charge of all the assassins. So this guy here is called the March. We know the Will, and we know what was the other one called? Or what's the spider called? The Stalk. So he's in charge of all of them. He sends them on their missions and stuff. So someone phoned up and asked the Will to kill Elena and Marco and Hazel, but he didn't do it. He's dealing with some personal stuff. And the person on the phone is there, and it turns out that it's Gwendolyn herself. So we get to meet Marco's ex. She doesn't look very happy. She looks very trendy again. Very hip, very trendy. Is that a name tag? I don't know what that is. So, yeah, so she's going to head off and find the Will so they can find Marco, Elena, and Hazel and kill them. So, yeah, overall, I think this is the best issue so far because I wasn't grossed out, I wasn't annoyed, I didn't hate everybody. 8 issues in, though. For a comic book, for it to take 8 issues to actually stop being terrible, I don't think that's great. I don't think that's a good thing. But I guess I'll read the next one. I will read chapter 9 and see how it goes, and hopefully it keeps up and it stays as okay as this issue. I don't know. Yeah, so overall I didn't hate it, which is really, really good for me and Saga. So yes, on that note, take care and stay safe.